Welcome to Honey Bee, real stories of love, lies, and betrayal, where every truth stings. Let's begin. My name is Jason. After my girlfriend made it normal to belittle my life, mock my background, and treat me like I wasn't good enough, I knew I couldn't stay quiet anymore. She had gotten so comfortable putting me down that it became routine. Every insult, every sarcastic jab chipped away at my confidence, until one day, I decided to do something she would never expect. And when I finally did it, she couldn't believe I had it in me. Kathleen and I grew up in the same neighborhood, in an ordinary community. We weren't close friends, but we knew of each other. She lived a few streets away, and I'd notice her now and then. She stood out, pretty and confident even as a kid. For a short time, we went to the same middle school, before things shifted in my family. My parents started fighting constantly and eventually split up. After that, I moved in with my dad on the other side of town. It wasn't easy, but I adjusted. I still visited my mom sometimes, and whenever I did, I'd occasionally see Kathleen around. We never talked much, but we followed each other on Instagram. She was always beautiful to me, and I carried a quiet crush that I never acted on. I figured maybe one day, but life had its distractions, and that day never came. Looking back now, I realize I liked the idea of her more than the actual person, because truthfully, we were still strangers. As time passed, our lives split in different directions. Kathleen focused on academics, got into college, and eventually graduated into a solid career with a major food company. It suited her. My path was different. College wasn't for me. Not because I wasn't capable, but because I saw no sense in chasing a certificate when opportunity was right in front of me. My dad ran a small real estate business. I grew up watching him negotiate, buy, sell, and manage properties. Instead of filling out college applications, I asked him to let me join. He didn't hand me a position or title. He made me start at the bottom, learning how to talk to clients, assess properties, and close deals. Step by step, I worked my way up like anyone else. By the time many of my classmates were still stressing about finals or internships, I was already handling listings, making money, and gaining real experience. We were both doing well, but in different worlds. She had her polished office career, and I had my hustle. One night, exhausted after work, I was lying on the couch scrolling through Instagram when I saw Kathleen's selfie. She looked peaceful and beautiful, and without overthinking, I replied, "Careful, your beauty might blind someone." The moment I hit send, I regretted it. It sounded corny, like something out of a teen movie. I considered unsending it, but before I could, she responded with a laugh and a playful reply. Relief washed over me. She wasn't offended. She thought it was funny. From there, the conversation kept flowing. That one comment turned into a full exchange. We talked about work, the neighborhood, life. She was easy to talk to, warm, friendly, and surprisingly genuine. Over time, we began chatting more often, then meeting up for coffee, walks, and long conversations. Slowly, we built a real connection. I learned she was single, and after building up the courage, I asked her out. To my surprise, she said yes. That's how our relationship began. At first, things felt great. I was growing in real estate. She was moving forward in her career, and together it seemed like we were on the right path. But as time went on, something changed. Kathleen started making comments about my family, my upbringing, even my parents' divorce. Things I'd shared with her in confidence. She turned my pain into punchlines. At first, I ignored it, hoping it would stop. It didn't. The comments became more frequent, and eventually, her behavior grew worse, especially after she got promoted. She began acting superior, as if she was above me. That's when I started speaking up. I told her when she crossed the line. But every time I did, she brushed it off as joking and said I was too sensitive. Soon, new problems surfaced. She compared me to her friends' boyfriends, what they bought, where they traveled, what cars they drove. Then she'd demand the same from me. If I refused, she accused me of not loving her enough. I felt like I was walking on eggshells, constantly managing her moods. The breaking point came during a heated argument. She threw my parents' divorce in my face, twisting one of the most painful parts of my childhood into a weapon. I just stood there, Stunned, that moment killed whatever connection we had left. I didn't yell. I didn't fight back. I just went quiet. And for the first time, I thought seriously about leaving. But instead of ending it right then, I chose something different. I wanted her to experience what it felt like when the person she thought she controlled stopped playing along. For the next month, I changed completely. I stopped arguing. I stopped defending myself. I just let her talk. I gave her silence and agreement, pretending everything was fine. Then I proposed with a cheap ring, telling her the rare all-diamond one would come later. She believed it. She bragged online, started planning the wedding, and even began spending money for it. She thought she had me wrapped around her finger. Meanwhile, I was planning my exit. I quietly booked a solo trip to Spain, a place I'd always wanted to visit. I told only my dad, hugged my mom goodbye, and said nothing to Kathleen. The night before my flight, I sent her one last message. I'm ending this. Your constant disrespect and behavior have made this impossible. I'm done. Then I blocked her. By the next morning, I was gone. In Spain, I finally felt free. No fights, no pressure, just peace. Eventually, my best friend messaged, asking what happened because Kathleen had been blowing up his phone. I told him the truth. I left. I explained how the relationship had turned toxic, how she mocked my past, ignored me, and treated me like I wasn't enough.